Exiting Yankee Stadium after the conclusion of a Yankees game. Yankees lost to the Toronto Blue Jays 9-2. Now, I'm going to take the stairs to the main level. There's a concession store, closed. Exiting the stadium, walking down a flight of stairs that lead to the main street level. Here's the great hallway at Yankee Stadium. Very impressive. Okay. There's the main concession at Yankee Stadium, crowded with people buying overpriced, well, in my opinion, overpriced merchandise. Now, I'm leaving the stadium. I am now outside of Yankee Stadium in a pedestrian area located on East 161st Street. My plan is to take the Metro North Railroad back to Grand Central Terminal. There's East 161st Street. In the distance is the number 4 subway train stop, 161st Street. There's Yankee Stadium, the exterior obviously. As I mentioned before, the Yankees lost 9-2. Very lackluster performance by the Yankees. Very uninspired. Their hitting failed, their pitching failed. One of the players made an error in the field. And the game is over. That's it, the game is history. I am now crossing East 161st Street. There's East 161st Street is blocked off by the police. So now up those flight of stairs is a park. Normally I would walk on that park, but the stairway is been cordoned off.
I told you to wait. I told you to wait.
Anyway, there's the flute man. This is the pedestrian walkway to the Metro North Station, East Yankees, East 151st Street. There's artwork. Somebody selling hats, very nice hats. Somebody selling water, very nice water. Okay, there's a kiddie park, the fountain on, shower for little kiddies. Going to Yankee Stadium and watching the New York Yankees get decisively beat by another team feels kind of like when I go to the track and I see the horse that I'm betting on getting decisively beat. I ask myself, what am I doing here? And the answer, of course, is I want to be entertained. I want to be even vicariously part of a winning team. Whether it be picking a racehorse, being a part owner of a racehorse that wins, or rooting for a team and hoping that that team wins. Okay, they got, frankly, I believe this area could be better lit. Should be lit with super floodlights, but it isn't. So let's see here. In the background there is Yankee Stadium. You see? There's a parking lot here. Okay. See, the reason why this area is so devoid of people right now, or practically devoid, is that most of the crowd at Yankee Stadium left several innings before, when it became very, very obvious that the Yankees were not going to win the game. So there was no incentive for people to stay when they want to catch their trains and go to wherever they came from. See, here's a police car or a police van. Okay. And here's the entrance to the MTA. Metro North Station, Yankees, East 151st Street. No, East 153rd Street. Here it is. Made it to the entrance to the train station. Now we're going to climb up these stairs. Okay. New York City Police, very nice. Protecting the public, very good. Okay. This is the famous overpass that connects the pedestrian walkway to the Metro North 153rd Street Yankee Station. Or is it Yankees 153rd Street? This walk area would be very crowded if people had stayed to watch the entire game, but for reasons I mentioned before, they didn't. Or did I mention any reasons? Or whatever, they didn't. So now we're heading toward the conductor area. So here's my ticket. Yeah, it's my ticket. I mean, look, let's face it. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, I got my ticket punched. I'm in the station. I'm in the waiting area for the station. Now I have to wait for the next train going to Grand Central Terminal. With that in mind, I'm going to walk down these flight of stairs to the station platform, where it's found tracks 4 and 6. Okay. Okay, here's the train to Grand Central. Train to Grand Central. Okay. Made it onto the train to Grand Central. Okay. Very good. Now usually I have to wait. I always get to this station, I gotta wait a half hour, sometimes an hour for a train. This is the first time the train has actually been here when I got to the station. So this is very unprecedented. I know they weren't waiting for me, that's for sure. Okay, so now I'm on the train and it's leaving, it's actually pulling out. It's actually departing right on time. Very impressive. All right, so now I'm going to take a seat. Oh, okay. Okay, very good. See? Train is leaving, departing the station. Yankees, he's 153rd Street. And this is it. This is how I get to the train station after I leave Yankee Stadium. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go. Okay. Yeah, this side of the train affords a much better view, or what there is of a view of the Bronx approaching the Harlem River. Okay, see? There are people who would probably pay thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars to travel to New York City to take a ride on the Metro-North Railroad, only because they could say, I took a ride on the Metro-North Railroad in New York City. For those people, New York is nothing but a, scenery to them. But for a lot of people, New York City is more than just scenery. New York City is the place where they live and work. See, we're crossing the Harlem River right now. And soon we'll be stopping at Harlem 125th Street station, which is the last station before Grand Central Terminal. I hope you're enjoying this tour of New York City, at least this part of New York City. I just want you to understand that people actually live in New York City. For a lot of people, for millions of people, New York City is not a tourist attraction. It's not scenery. It's not a background for a movie. It's where they actually live and work. Now the train has just stopped at Harlem, east 125th Street. And train is pulling. That's the New Haven train is pulling out. That train goes to Connecticut. The Metro, the MTA system encompasses a huge area that includes Westchester County, Connecticut, all of Long Island, and I believe it also they go up to Putnam County, even Sullivan County.
This is the train to Grand Central. The next station is Grand Central.
Okay. The Yankees game is already receding into my memory bank as just being something that is not worthy of too much thought. It was just, just a not very entertaining game to watch. It wasn't entertaining at all, as a matter of fact. At least if you're a Yankees fan, it wasn't.
Station here.
There are some who say that there's no other city in the world like New York City. Well, in a matter of speaking, it's true because there is no other New York City. So when somebody says, well, there's no other city like New York City, I think they mean it in another sense, other than physical geography. And they may be talking about some kind of unique culture, or a culture that's unique to New York City. I don't know. I've been in many cities in this world, and cities are cities. And I mean that literally. Cities are cities. If you think of a city, and you're in a city, more likely than not, that city will conform to your image of what a city is supposed to be like. But you know, each city has its own unique character. Even in its day of blurred borders and internationalization of finances and travel and communication, you go to a particular city, and the city still has retain certain characteristics unique to that city. But don't ask me to explain any further, so then I'll be reaching for something that I may not be able to grab. And now we're in a tunnel. There's a tunnel that goes below Park Avenue, directly to Grand Central Terminal. So now we're going to see lights going by, just lights. The lights that are in the tunnel. See? These are tunnel lights. You know, regarding Aaron Judge, all season there's been talk about Judge being a shoo-in for the most valuable player in the American League. I have serious doubts about that. Over the past few games, Aaron Judge has become very most valuable player-like. He's grounding into double plays. He's struck out. He hasn't hit a home run. Frankly, he seems to be struggling at the plate, and he's not producing. Now, right now he has 46 home runs and I think 102 RBIs, which are excellent stats. But that alone should not qualify him for MVP, especially if the Yankees finish poorly. And there's nothing to suggest that I could see, no evidence to suggest that the Yankees are going to finish strongly. If they do, great. But it just seems that the Yankees are really floundering. Train is approaching Grand Central Terminal. Sometimes the train goes to a track on the upper level. Sometimes it goes to a track on the lower level. I prefer the upper level because it's just a little bit easier to exit the station from the upper level. But if it goes to the lower level, so be it. I must say that I was impressed with the Toronto Blue Jays team. They have a very good lineup, which includes many excellent players, and I would not be surprised if they make the playoffs and do very well in the playoffs. And even go to the World Series. Why not? Why not? Now, this series with the Yankees, I think, is critical for the Yankees, as well as for Toronto. If the Yankees get swept in this series, that's it. The Yankees, they might as well pack it up. This is going to be, the pivotal series that's going to decide the season for the Yankees, in my humble opinion. And it is a very humble opinion. Please understand, an opinion, not a fact. Because, one can say that the Yankees are going to do poorly, and all of a sudden they go on a 15-game winning streak, and nobody knows why. Tonight, the Houston Astros beat the Chicago White Sox in Chicago 21-5. I can only commiserate with the Chicago White Sox fans who had to sit, who spent good money to attend the game in their ballpark to watch the team they're rooting for get demolished by the Houston Astros. See, there's another train pulling in. Except this train doesn't appear to have any passengers. It's a ghost train. Oh, there's one passenger, two passengers. Two more passengers, another passenger. Okay, it's not a ghost train. Okay, this train maybe. I thought it might be going to the lower level. Well, here we are, Grand Central Terminal. Time to gather my belongings. That's my belongings. There's another train that looks like it's in hibernation. Okay. Okay, now I gathered my belongings. I am now preparing to exit the train. I am now exiting the train. Okay. On this very hot station platform. This is track 30. Now there are people who commute to and from New York every day. What I'm doing now, they do every day during rush hour. It's 11:06 p.m. right now. See? Grand Central Terminal. Okay, now this is a part of Grand Central Terminal. Oh, you want to see the main station? Okay, the main hall of the station. All right, I'll show it to you. Why not? This is the main hall of the station. Here it is. You happy? You seen it? Okay. Main hall of the station. There's the American flag. There's the roof. There's the clock. Okay. Now we're going to go to the 42nd Street passage. There's a police vehicle and no police officers in it. Okay. This is the 42nd Street passage. See, very nice stores here. I don't think anybody buys anything in these stores, but they look very nice. Here's the entrance to the subway. Here's the Grand Central Market entrance. And this passageway opens up to Lexington Avenue. This is a confectionery store, Jacques Torres. Okay. This is Lexington Avenue. Okay. Now we're on the street. That's the Chrysler Building. Okay. Chrysler Building was opened in 1930. It's an old building. It was once the tallest building in the world. See? This is 42nd Street. What is shocking to me, though I don't believe I should be shocked by this, is that there are people who would pay huge amounts of money so they could say to their friends and neighbors and relatives that they visited New York City and were on 42nd Street. Here's the Chrysler Building again. Okay. I'm planning to cross Lexington Avenue now. Okay, now I'm proceeding south on Lexington Avenue. Now right now it's about 10 after 11 at night. By around 1 or 1:30, this entire area is completely deserted. Grand Central Terminal closes down. Shuts down at 1:30 or maybe 12:30. And that's a big reason why the whole area becomes immediately deserted. The station itself shuts down. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it happens. So there's no traffic going in and out to and from Grand Central Terminal for about 5 hours. Here's something that New York produces in huge quantities, garbage. Okay, East 40th Street. This is Lexington Avenue. Now, this is one of the entrances to Cuba's mission to the United Nations. I read somewhere, I don't know exactly where, but somewhere, that once upon a time, this area, which is known as Murray Hill, was almost entirely Irish and German. That was the ethnic composition. I don't think I'm wrong on that. I believe that for a time in New York City, German was the second language of the city. Unofficially, of course. And that was the demographics of the time. You had massive immigration coming in from Ireland and Germany. These countries were poor. So you had a massive influx of immigration to the Western Hemisphere, including to the United States. When Germany became united in 1870, immigration from Germany virtually ceased because Germany itself was now getting its house in order, and did so quite successfully until World War I, when all that it had accomplished was destroyed as a result of a war that some believe that Germany was responsible for causing, though the Germans never accepted blame, which later became a very serious and critical point of contention after World War I, during the drafting of the Treaty of Versailles, a treaty which I think it could be arguably stated is one of the more sordid and notorious treaties in modern times. The treaty virtually sowed the seeds for another war. And what's even more pathetic is that the people who were writing the treaty understood that, or so that's what I've been brought up to believe or informed of. Then again, who can really say what Clemenceau and Wilson and Lloyd George were really thinking when they drew up this treaty? Who knows what was going on? I mean, you can only judge by what they produced. And they produced a treaty that was just full of flaws. Maybe it wasn't intended to be full of flaws. Maybe it wasn't intended, to create more problems, but it did. And that's just the way it was. All right, at any rate, I've now arrived at East 34th Street and Lexington Avenue. So now I plan to cross the street, meaning cross East 34th Street. Okay. I've crossed East 34th Street. And oh, there's more. There's another pile of what New York produces in prodigious quantities. Garbage. You know, I understand that. You know, there are different reasons why people migrate, why they move. You know, why they might want to choose to move to a place like New York City. But I would say to them, if you're planning to move to New York City or have already moved to New York City, I hope you had a good reason for doing so. New York City is not a place that I would suggest that one move to, you know, lightly. But, you know, people live here. And it's the way it is. I mean, the city's not abandoned. Still has a viable economy. You know, it has a huge service industry basis. Virtually no industry anymore. In fact, it may not have any industry, period. At least any legal industries. Maybe illegal industries. You know, that's a street person. All right. In this area, they are to be found. Sometimes in rather prodigious numbers. Okay. So now I've arrived at East 32nd Street. Now I'm going to make a left turn, meaning I'm now going to be walking east on East 32nd Street. All right. So now I'm walking on East 32nd Street. I just crossed East 32nd Street. Now, an interesting feature in New York City right now is that the police have reduced their visibility on the street. I mean, the police are still around, but they're much less visible. There are far fewer. It is less likely now that one will see a New York City police car patrolling the streets. They do so, but very infrequently. They used to do so much more frequently. See, this store here used to be a supermarket. Used to be a food store. Now it's a merchandise store, selling, I believe, very overpriced merchandise, most of which is imported from China. No surprise there. And now we've arrived at 3rd Avenue. So now I'm crossing 3rd Avenue. This is 3rd Avenue. See? Very little traffic. Okay. This is a construction. This is a construction shed. This is a very common kind of structure found all over New York City. Yeah. Oh, more garbage. Okay. More garbage. From time to time, I'll see a rat scurry onto the sidewalk. Motorcycle, motor scooter, whatever. Okay. Oh, sofa. Usually when there's a lot of furniture on the street, that means either somebody moved out or somebody died. It's usually the latter, I believe. Hey, look, let's face it. As there is birth, there's also death. And at any given moment, someone's being born and someone is dying. Just the way it is. Okay. I mean, I don't want to sound morbid about it, but it's a fact. You're born, you live, you die. Right now the weather is clear. I would say the temperature is about 75, maybe 80. Some humidity, not as bad as it has been in previous weeks, but still high level of humidity, enough to make me feel uncomfortable. And this is a restaurant. Closed right now. This restaurant used to be open much later. It's not open late anymore. There's an outdoor area. And we've arrived at 2nd Avenue. This is 2nd Avenue and 32nd Street, East 32nd Street. This is it. And with that, this video